Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Spring Ulrich, and you are listening to Light Sprinkles. I'm here to offer you inspirational healing tools and tips, survival skills for you to spring forward in your life. And today I want to talk to you about that vacation feeling. How do we create that vacation feeling, and where does it come from? As I was doing my journaling the other day, I had this question come up because I was really feeling that longing and that desire to feel that freedom of vacation and that feeling because right now during the coronavirus, we're not going a lot of places and there's not a lot that's open. So, traveling and vacationing is not necessarily as easeful and as accessible as it has been. So, I don't know about you, but we've really been homebodies and we've been really staying home and hunkering down and not really going anywhere, which has been a sadness on my heart because typically in a summer I would be going to the pool daily with my children. I would be going to travel to see my family in another state that's 10 hours away. I would be going and doing things and adventuring with my kids and seeing new things and new opportunities. And so I sat there and I really contemplated how I get that vacation feeling. What creates that within myself? What things facilitate that emotion, that feeling of I'm on vacation? And what does it feel like to be on vacation? So here's what I've come up with. What creates? What creates that wonderful vacation feeling? Well, there are several things for me that I have found, and maybe for you it's a little bit different. I'd love to hear from you what you find really works to get you into that vacation feeling and why that is the case, what things trigger that feeling. And what I'm really interested in and what I really wanted to do with this question was to discover how I can tap into it daily. I want to be able to have that vacation feeling, not just when I go on vacation, which is how often in a year, depends on the year. And if you don't get to vacation very often, how can we create that within our daily lives and within our lives more often? So, how can we vacation at home, right? That's what I was wanting to do. I knew that it wasn't possible for us to up and travel and go somewhere far away, simply because of my husband's work, and I wanted our family to be together, and I wanted to make sure that I was having that feeling even if I went nowhere, even if I wasn't able to go and do anything special or super amazing and travel, right? That's a big component of that vacation feeling. As I'm traveling, I'm going somewhere, I'm doing something. And here's the thing I found. Number one is newness. As I was doing my journaling and discovering for myself what does it feel like when I'm on vacation? How do I tap into that and what things get activated and triggered and awake and alive, right? It's that newness, that new feeling sensation is really, really apparent in the travel and the vacation experience. It's typically you're going somewhere new, you're changing the scenery, right? So we bring in the senses. So the senses are what really get activated and triggered hugely when you're in a new environment. You're more alert because your mind and everything isn't just on autopilot anymore because your environment is different. You're taken out of your typical environment, your typical routine, and now you're forced to have less distractions because you're no longer at home with your to-do lists and the whatever items are calling for your attention that normally call for your attention. You're forced to leave the house, leave the home, leave all of it behind and be able to walk right into totally new environment, new neighborhoods, new sights. So bringing all the senses in. And as I sat and I did my journaling, I really sat there and said, okay, how can I tap in? How can I tune into this right here, right now? This feeling of being on vacation. And what I did was I sat on my patio, and I really am blessed with a beautiful, beautiful patio. I live on the river, and our property is right on the river, so I'm able to sit on my patio, do my journaling, and see this beautiful river, and just see the flow. And It was such a beautiful moment for me. And I really did tap into that feeling of being on vacation at my own home. I looked at it with all of my senses. I listened first. First, it was the sounds of the birds, the rustling of the leaves and the trees, the wind as it came in, and it would pick up a little bit at times and then just move some of the the grasses or the leaves on the trees or brush against my hair or feel the breeze on my face and the warmth of the sun. And just being in that moment so fully and being able to really hear all the sounds of all of the birds coming in, all of just everything around me. When I was able to tune in and really hone in on my senses, then I was able to really step into that gratitude and that feeling of, wow, this is such a great moment, because it really was. The sun was shining, the flowers were all bloomed. It was just so peaceful and tranquil. And here's the other thing I know is when I go on vacation, I'm usually in nature because I love nature and that really calls to me. And that makes me feel like I'm on vacation. So I was out on my patio, I was in nature, listening to the water, listening to all of it, anything that I could get from nature. Any sounds, whether it's crickets, frogs, birds, whatever it is in nature, the sound of the wind, getting into that emotion of listening and just being, giving myself that break, that ability to just really truly be present with my listening. And then the other thing is in nature, what I really love to do when I'm on vacation is I love to see new things, right? I love to see beautiful things, and I'm always looking to see where the next photo is or how I can look at something from a new perspective and capture a really great photo. And isn't that part of a lot of travel? People pull out their phones and they're doing selfies and they're doing taking pictures or looking at beautiful things and pointing them out and saying, wow, look at that over there, and seeing new things, seeing a new environment. So the question came up and arose of how can I look at my patio and my experience in my home with new eyes? Because I'm not changing the environment. I've seen this environment. I've been in this environment. This is where I live my daily life. But how would someone who doesn't live in my daily life see it for the first time? And that's how I can change my perspective, is how can I see this as if I am a guest in my own home? What if I had just arrived and I was at a vacation rental, and this was the place that I was vacationing in? And to just allow myself that ability to imagine and pretend and see things from that perspective, rather than looking for all of the things that were still calling for my attention, such as the garden or the watering or weeding that hadn't been done, because there's always more weeds than they're not winning as much as they have been in the past, but they're still very, very good at being a challenge and always offering up an ability for my hands to get into the soil and spend time really in nature. So instead of focusing on all the things that were calling for my attention, new seedlings that needed to be planted and given more space in the garden, or any of the things, right? The patio being swept. There's a million things on the to-do list and that could call for my attention. And there were plenty on my plate that day. There were plenty of things calling for my attention. And what I did was I stayed in tune with the moment. I listened. I looked with new eyes. And I just got into such appreciation, into such a great moment, that I really did feel for those few moments that I was on vacation on my own patio and really enjoying it. And going, wow, I can tap into this anywhere. I can tap into this right now and look at this new day that I've never experienced, this new moment I've never experienced, with a newness within myself. I can start it there. I don't have to wait to travel on a plane and a bus and a car and go far away to tap into that newness within myself, to look at the day, look at this beautiful brand new day with fresh eyes, with a fresh start, and to be able to create that sacred space as well, to be able to give myself that break from the duties, from the list, even if it was for that moment. Because the truth is, I did a lot that day, but I did it in a way that felt more like vacation to me. And I kept that on my heart and on my mind of how can I make this day feel like vacation, even though there are things I actually do want to get done. My family and I, we cleaned the bathrooms. Now, that's not something I normally would do on vacation. I'll admit that. But it was something that actually was nudging and calling on my heart, because what I like is I like to live in a clean environment and a clean space, and I like to live in a beautiful experience. So I wanted to create that. Knew it wouldn't take long, but it would definitely up level my experience for the rest of the day and the rest of the week, so I could feel like I was on vacation in my own home rather than living in a chaos or a mess. Like, I just like that feeling that my bathroom feels clean like a hotel room. So that for me was the way to step more into it, because it needed to be done anyway. When I could look at it as that I was creating that experience for myself and my family to love on our home, live in it as if we are guests, and prepare it for ourselves as if we are the guest, then I was able to do it in a more easeful way. Now, I didn't share this with my kids, so they didn't experience quite the same experience in cleaning the bathroom and getting that taken care of, because they got to clean their bathroom. However, I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm finding ways that I can try them out for myself and then share with my children and share with you. So getting into all of the senses, right? We talked about the ears, listening, right? The eyes, and being able to see things from a different perspective, and really in our minds, right? Changing our perspective within ourselves. So seeing, photographing, how can you look at things in your life already without even having to change it, and see it with a new perspective, a new appreciation, like as if it was the first time you were able to experience it. How interesting would that be? To be able to walk into your life as if you've never seen it before and experience who you are and what you have and what your environment is for the first time. The other thing I really did was when I sat out on my patio and I was contemplating what that feeling, how to tap in and tune into that experience of vacation feeling, was smell. I sat there and I took a deep breath, and I smelt all of the wonderful juicy smells coming from the wind and coming off, wafting off of the river and the flowers and everything surrounding me. And that's what I really love doing, especially when I'm on a beach vacation, that amazing salty fresh air, right? Or if I'm in the forest and having that humid, wonderful smell of the earth. And so just tapping into how we can tap into more smells, or create a new smell in our home to create more of a vacation experience that will just be able to drop you into it right away. So using our smell. And another thing is taste, right? Oftentimes when we travel, we try new foods, we try new restaurants, we are in a totally different neighborhood, in a different neck of the woods. And what I love to do when I travel is I love to find new places. And of course there are the staples, right? That especially if we're tired or not up for new experience, especially if there's any stress involved with any travel, that you find something that you like, it's on your meal plan, or that will work for you in your dietary restrictions or needs, or whatever you need to fill in the blank. And so you have those certain foods when you travel from place to place, that if it's available, especially if you're traveling within the United States, there's a lot of repeat, from Starbucks to McDonald's to Costa Vida, and you name it. There's lots of opportunities in many different places that it's repeat restaurants. But when we travel as a family, we really try to seek out the places that we've never been to, the places that we have yet to experience, because that's part of the joy and the wonderful part of experiencing new things and making that experience even more wonderful. And it's, like I said, it's not to say that we don't still visit some of our favorites, but we definitely take time to enjoy the new foods and the new experiences. And a lot of times, especially if you travel abroad, if you travel to another country, a lot of those places are simply not available. So you're then forced to try new things and try new foods and experiences. So the newness is key. So if you're staying at home, if you're having a staycation, how can you try something new? Try a new recipe or order in food from a restaurant you have been wanting to try but that you haven't. And giving yourself that pass from having to cook in the first place, if you're able to do that. Right? If you love cooking, maybe you're like, no, when I go on vacation, I cook, I use the kitchen, and I always do my cooking. Great. Whatever's going to work for you to give you that feeling of newness. What new spices can you try, or a new recipe can you try on, and give your taste buds that experience as well. So yeah, try all that. Try the listening, the seeing, getting your the smells, and getting the tastes, right? Getting into all of the sensations. And another one was touch. For me, when I'm on vacation, I love the touch. I love to feel my feet in the sand, right? Especially on the beach. I love to feel my feet on the sand, in the water, feeling the coolness and the coldness of the ocean. I love to feel the sand and dig my toes in. I love to feel the beautiful green leaves of the forest, or beautiful pick up rocks and hold them in my hand. I love to feel in touch with my body, with my fingers, really giving myself the permission to be present, be in my body, and be in that experience of really moving, and moving in fun ways, dancing in nature, running in nature. I love running on the beach. I love cartwheels on the beach, sitting on the beach, laying in the beach, going for hikes, just being in nature and being really physically in nature. So what I did sitting on my patio to create that feeling is my daughter had brought me several lovely little presents and treasures as I was doing my journaling. And she brought me dandelion, she brought me leaves of mint, she brought me all kinds of lovely treasures from our garden. So I had a lovely little pile building up as I was doing my journaling. And so what I did was I used my fingers and my thumb to just touch the dandelion and feel the softness, and to feel the way my fingers felt just holding the flower, just feeling it, and actually being present with how sweet of a gift it was to receive, that my daughter was bringing me all these little love gifts, these love charms that she was giving me, and telling me how much she loved me, and really sinking in to that receiving of love from my daughter. And that is the other thing that is vacation for me, is time with my family, uninterrupted, little to no distractions, right? Because I'm not doing my regular tasks of the chores of the house, the laundry, the cleanup, all the regular stuff. And I'm giving them more undivided attention, full presence and being, and we're doing something new together. We're creating new memories. And so where can we create new memories and do something new that we haven't done before, that we have not done yet? So just being really present and creating that sacred time and that sacred experience, saying, hey, we're vacationing, we're taking this hour, this 2 hours, the whole day, whatever you have time available. Say, hey, we're going to give ourselves the pass. We're going to have an off day. We're going to have off time together where we're going to play a board game. We're going to do a bike ride, or we're going to go do s'mores out in the backyard, or fly a kite, whatever it is, something that you don't normally do that would be easy to access. Or maybe you have some art supplies and you can all do a drawing together on the same page or different pages, and then try to guess what each other has drawn. Or storytelling. What new things can you try on that you have not done together? Can you build a fort in your front room and turn out the lights and get flashlights and do a storytelling experience, right? So what creative ways can you vacation in your own home, at your own place, and feel like you're on vacation? What kind of new adventures can you come up with? And ask your family, ask your children for ideas on what makes them feel like they're on vacation. How do they create that feeling? What things contribute to them feeling like they're on vacation? And then listen and get their feedback and try it out. And I really encourage you to take some of this on every day in a little bit of a way. How can I vacation a little bit each day and have that great vacation feeling, that presence, that newness? How can I look at the day in a new way? How can I enjoy my life and be in more pleasure and feel like my life is a vacation? Because the more we practice that feeling, the more we're going to experience that joy, the more we're going to be able to be on vacation, right? A permanent vacation, permanent vacation. How can we more often be in that wonderful high vibration of vacation and in the smells and the tastes and create that newness, the new memories, the new experiences, the new photos, and the new environment and new experience? And it might be that you need to redecorate a room or you need to rearrange the furniture and try something else try something else in that direction of creating a new environment, right? If you're not able to travel, if you're not able to go anywhere, how can you create a new environment around you with changing just the arrangement of your furniture or some of your decorations or completely revamping the room? Maybe that might give you more of that sense of feeling like you have your environment changed enough to be able to give you that reflection. So I hope that some of these ideas have brought you some nuggets, some tools in being able to access that wonderful, juicy feeling of being on vacation. And I would love to hear how you are committed to taking a few of these tools into your day, trying them out, letting me know, giving me feedback on how it worked and what you loved about it. And that can always inspire other people into trying out something new as well. I'd love to hear what your new thing is that you tried or what you tapped into, and what is it that brings you that vacation feeling. I would love for you to take the time to really contemplate that question and get clear for yourself what brings you that vacation feeling, right? It's kind of like Christmas. All of the things that create the experience of Christmas. And if you think about it, what are those things, right? It's the same thing with vacation. What things in my life, ask yourself that, what things in your life bring you that sense that you're on vacation, that freedom, the newness, the new memories, the fun, the pleasure, the adventure, right? All of the wonderful things. So maybe a change in the routine. Giving yourself that change in the routine, doing things in a different order in your day, maybe that would simply break things up, break the monotony up, and make you feel, at least allow you to remember the day more, right? Because those vacations, those things, the days when we do something different, the days when I find that I have a much better recall and memory when I do something different, when it's something out of the ordinary, and it doesn't have to be huge, but it definitely sets that day out to be more extraordinary because it's not just the same routine as every other day. So try to change the routine. Try to change the scene. Maybe you sit somewhere different in your yard or different in your home. You switch the table seating assignment at dinner time. Whatever it is that you normally have a routine, how can you change it up just for fun and play? What new foods can you try? What new environment can you put yourself in? Is there a neighborhood nearby that you can walk that you've never walked? Is there a new route that you can drive to your destination or to the grocery store, wherever it is that you're going? And set aside some time, some off time. Create that sacred space. Declare it, even if it's going to be just 5 minutes in your day, 2 minutes in your day, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour of your day where you say, I'm on vacation. And let's see how many more vacations we can fit into our life through the day, through the week, through the year. Even if it doesn't include that takeoff, that travel. And hey, it doesn't hurt if you do get to travel. So if you get that opportunity, definitely take that. Enjoy that experience. Stay safe, have fun, And I hope that you've really enjoyed this time. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And you can find me on lightsprinkles.com. That's LIGHTSPRINGKLES.com. And you can find me on Light Sprinkles on YouTube and Light Sprinkles on podcast. Again, I'm Spring Ulrich, and I look forward to our next episode. And until then, much love and light. Bye for now.